There's a machine on your cruise ship that charges $6.50 just to hand you your own money. There's a desk that once took $10 off a $50 exchange, that's 20%, gone. And there's a VIP pass that costs a couple over $350. And most people who buy it once say they'd never buy it again. By the end of this video, you'll know the 21 onboard charges experienced cruisers simply never pay, and the exact smarter move for each one. Not free perks. These are the quiet charges the ship hopes you'll say yes to. Here's why this matters. Onboard spending makes up roughly a third of what the major cruise lines earn. Carnival Corporation alone reported about $8.5 billion of it in a single year, in their own filing with regulators. Every deck of that ship is designed to turn your keycard into a wallet, and here's your first win, right now. Before you buy any add-on Onboard, open the cruise line's app and check the pre-cruise price. Onboard is almost always the highest price you will ever see for the same thing. 21 charges are coming, smallest to biggest, 2 to watch for. Number 16 is the one that quietly runs up a grandparent's bill faster than the casino, and almost nobody sees it coming. And number 21 is a VIP pass thousands of cruisers buy exactly once and then swear off forever. I'll show you the math that proves them right. Let's start small. Number 1, the pay-per-view movie on your cabin television. On many ships, that little rental button carries a hotel-style charge, while the same TV has free movie channels a few clicks away, and the pool deck runs free movies under the stars most nights. You already paid for a floating cinema. Tonight, scroll past the rental menu and check the free channels first. Then check the daily planner for the outdoor movie. Same popcorn feeling, zero charge. And the next one hides one deck up. Number 2, the golf simulator. Some ships rent simulator time by the half hour. Fun? Sure. But the same ship usually has a putting green, mini golf, and full sports courts, all included in your fare. Smart cruisers get their golf fix on the free green and save the simulator money for something the ship can't give them for free. Ask any crew member on the sports deck, which of these activities are included? You'll be surprised how long the free list is. Speaking of surprises, the next one is priced by the pound. Number 3, the onboard candy shop. Those bright walls of gummy bears and chocolate look innocent, until you see the per-pound price, which can run several times what the same candy costs at home. Fill one bag for the grandkids, and you've spent restaurant money on sugar. The smart move: if sweets are part of your cruise tradition, pack a bag from home in your checked luggage. It's allowed. And remember, free soft serve and free desserts are steps away. The next charge is one almost everyone pays on the wrong day. Number 4, the ship logo shirts, mugs, and bags. At full price, early in the cruise. Here's what experienced cruisers know. The onboard shops run their big markdown events late in the sailing, often on the final sea day, with tables of the same merchandise discounted. The shop needs to clear stock before the next itinerary. So if you want the souvenir, wait. Check the daily planner for the words sale or event in the shops. Same shirt, same memory, smaller number on your folio. Now, about that fancy night coming up. Number 5, renting a tuxedo or formal gown for formal night. Dress codes on the major lines have relaxed enormously. Most now call it elegant or dress-up night, and slacks with a collared shirt or a simple dress are welcome in the main dining room. A rental can cost more than a nice dinner ashore for one evening. Before you book one, read your line's actual dress code online. The words matter, and they're softer than you remember. Wear the best thing you already own. Nobody is checking for cufflinks. The next item involves a wave machine. Number 6, paid private lessons on the surf simulator. On ships with a flow rider, the open sessions are included in your fare. Staff standing right there, helping every rider, every time. The paid private session buys you empty water, not secret knowledge. The smart play: go to an open session early in the cruise, watch 3 riders before you, and let the free staff coaching do its job. Show up at the first morning session on a port day, the line is shortest then, and the next one goes 300 feet up. Number 7, paying for the headline attractions twice. On several ships, the famous high-in-the-sky experiences, observation capsules, skydiving simulators, and similar signature rides include a basic session in your fare, and only the extended or premium versions cost money. Plenty of passengers see a price list and assume it's all paid. It isn't. The exact question to ask at the attraction desk on day 1: is there a complimentary session included, and how do I reserve it? Claim the included ride first, then decide if you want more. Next, the gift that arrives before you do. Number 8. Those pre-cruise celebration bundles. A bottle of wine, some strawberries, a few waters waiting in your cabin. Lovely gesture, heavy markup. That gift shop priced bottle can cost double what you'd pay at home, and on most major lines you're allowed to carry a bottle of wine aboard yourself at embarkation. The waters? Many lines let you carry on a modest amount of sealed, non-alcoholic drinks. Check your line's carry-on policy before you pay resort prices for a welcome you can pack. And if you forget something, that's the next trap. Number 9. Sunscreen, aloe, razors, batteries, and headache pills from the Onboard shop. This is the classic captive audience shelf. Prices that can run 2 to 3 times drugstore prices at home, as of recent sailings. The fix takes 60 seconds, a small pouch in your suitcase, with sunscreen, basic medicine, and spare batteries. And if you're already on board and stuck, wait for the next port. Nearly every cruise port has a pharmacy within walking distance of the pier, at local prices. The next charge doesn't happen in a shop at all. It happens on your last night. Number 10. The unreturned towel charge. On lines that check pool towels in and out on your keycard, an unreturned towel can show up on your final bill, $25 or so per towel on some ships, as of recent sailings. It happens to careful people. You lend one to a grandchild, leave one on a lounger, and the system still has your name on it. The habit that fixes it: whoever checks towels out checks them back in. Same person, same day, every time. 30 seconds at the towel stand protects your folio. Now, about that little chat button in the app. Number 11. The app's chat feature, when you already bought Wi-Fi. On some lines, chatting inside the cruise app is a small separate charge, around $5 per person for the cruise, as of recent sailings. Worth it for a family spread across a giant ship? Maybe. But here's what smart cruisers check first. If you already purchased an internet package, your regular messaging apps may already work, which can make the chat fee a duplicate. 1 minute of checking before you tap buy keeps you from paying twice for the same conversation. And now, let me show you what 20% looks like. A travel writer on a Mediterranean sailing watched a scene at the guest services desk that says everything about onboard money. A gentleman walked up with 50 euros and asked to change them into dollars. On that day, 50 euros was worth almost exactly $50. The desk offered him 40. He took it. $10, 20% of his money, gone in one polite transaction with a smile and a receipt. Nobody misled him. The rate was right there. He just didn't compare it to anything. That's the entire pattern behind this whole list. Onboard prices count on you not comparing. The next 3 items are where that pattern gets expensive. Number 12. The onboard cash machine. Carnival's own help page lists the fee at $6.50 per withdrawal, and that's before your own bank's out-of-network fee stacks on top. 2 or 3 small withdrawals across a week, and you've paid $20 for the privilege of holding your own cash. The smart move costs nothing. Decide your cash needs before you sail. Tips, port spending, casino budget, and bring it from home. And skip the currency desk too, for exactly the reason you just heard. The next charge is disguised as a game. Number 13. Bingo cards and paid game show entries. Onboard bingo can run from around $10 for a single card to $70 for the big electronic packages, per session, as of recent seasons. And the prize pool is built from the player's own money, with the house keeping its share. Same story with the paid, deal-style game shows. Smart cruisers treat these as entertainment they're paying to watch, not money they expect back. And here's the thing. The same theater runs free trivia and free game shows all week long. Check the planner. Get the same laughs. Keep the $70. The casino has a cousin of this one. Number 14. the slot and blackjack tournament entries. These are sold hard on sea days, a fixed entry fee, a leaderboard, a prize. Read the structure before you pay. The prize pool is often smaller than the total of the entries collected, and only the top spots pay anything at all. If you enjoy the competition, that's a fair trade for fun. But never pay an entry fee, believing it's good value. Ask the casino host one question first. What's the total prize pool, and how many entries are you taking? If they can't answer, you have your answer. Now let's step off the ship for a moment. Number 15. The cruise line's airport transfer. Convenient? Yes, but it's typically priced per person. And for 2 people, it can easily cost double what a taxi or rideshare charges for the same 20-minute trip, as of recent seasons. The bus also leaves on ITS schedule, waiting until it fills. For a couple, the math almost never works. Check the flat taxi rate for your port. Many port cities publish official flat rates to the airport, and compare it to the per-person transfer price on your invoice. 2 minutes, real savings. And now, the one I promised you. Number 16. Number 16. Unlimited charging privileges on a child's key card. Here's the setup nobody warns you about. On most lines, every guest, including kids, gets a key card. And if charging is left on, that card works at the arcade, the candy shop, the stuffed animal workshop, everywhere. The arcade especially, modern cruise arcades run on tap-to-play credits, and refills happen with one tap. A week of taps can produce a final bill surprise in the hundreds. The fix takes one stop on day 1. Go to guest services and say, "Please turn off charging privileges on these cards." Then load the arcade with a fixed amount you choose, if you want to treat them. The treat stays a treat, and stays the size you decided. The next item hides behind the words, duty-free. Number 17. Buying duty-free liquor because the sign says duty-free. Here's what smart cruisers know. Duty-free doesn't automatically mean cheaper than your local store. On some bottles it is, on plenty it isn't. And there's a second catch. Buy a bottle on board, and the ship holds it until your last night. You can't drink it on your vacation. So before you buy, do one thing. Look up the price of that exact bottle at home, right there on your phone in the shop. If the onboard price genuinely beats it, buy with confidence. If not, walk. The next shop event has even bigger numbers on the tags. Number 18. The onboard jewelry and watch sale events. The seminars, the champagne, the today-only tags showing huge percentages off a suggested retail price. Here's the calm truth. Those original prices are often list prices nobody actually pays on land. And once you sail home, returns and independent appraisals get complicated fast. Experienced cruisers enjoy the sparkle and keep their wallet closed. If a piece truly calls to you, photograph it, note the brand and model, and price it at home first. A real deal survives a week of thinking, a manufactured one doesn't. Now, a quick breather, and a fee you should never pay anywhere near a cruise. Number 19. Paying for printing on travel days. Hotels charge for their business center. Airports charge at kiosks. Meanwhile, guest services on your ship will print your return boarding passes, travel documents, even a confirmation email, free, with a smile. On your last sea day, take your booking reference to the desk and say, "Could you print my airline boarding passes, please?" It's one of the last free services at sea that almost nobody uses. And the final 2 items are the biggest dollar amounts on this entire list. Number 20. Bidding more for a cabin upgrade than the cabin actually costs. The bidding programs, where you offer money for a chance at a better room, feel like a game, and that's the problem. Plenty of passengers bid without checking one number, the direct price to simply book the better cabin today. Sometimes the gap is smaller than your bid, meaning a winning bid pays more than just booking it outright, with none of the guarantees. Before you ever bid, call or check online. What would it cost to upgrade directly to that category? That number is your ceiling. Below it, bid away. Above it, you're paying extra for suspense. And finally, the pass I promised at the start, number 21. The paid priority packages, the fast pass style programs the major lines sell. On Royal Caribbean, the key generally runs $25 to $50 per person, per day, and every person in the cabin over age 6 must buy it. For a couple on a 7-night cruise, that's easily $350 and up. Here's what it mostly buys: earlier boarding, a welcome lunch, reserved show seating, and a Wi-Fi package. And here's what experienced cruisers know: an early check-in time gets you aboard within minutes of key guests anyway. Show seats rarely sell out if you reserve in the app the moment you board, and the Wi-Fi alone costs far less bought separately. One cruiser put it plainly online after trying it. They bought it for their first cruise to calm their nerves, found boarding quick and easy for everyone, and said the internet was really the only true perk. They wouldn't buy it again. If Wi-Fi is the piece you want, buy the Wi-Fi. Skip the costume jewelry around it. Here's your never pay list in 60 seconds. Free movie channels, not the rental button. The free pudding green, not the simulator clock. Candy from home, not candy by the pound. Souvenirs on sale day, not day one. Your own good clothes, not a rental tux. Free open surf sessions, and the included ride on the big attractions. Ask for it by name. Carry your own wine and water aboard where allowed. Pack the sunscreen and the pills. Check towels back in yourself. Check your Wi-Fi before paying for chat. Bring cash from home. The machine charges $6.50, and the exchange desk can quietly take 20%. Free trivia over paid bingo. Ask the tournament's real prize pool. Compare the taxi to the transfer bus. Turn off the grandkids' charging privileges on day one. Price check duty-free on your phone. Photograph the jewelry. Buy it at home if it's real. Print for free at guest services. Never bid above the direct upgrade price. And never pay hundreds for a VIP pass that mostly sells you back your own efficiency. Now be honest with me. Which of these 21 have you paid for on a past cruise? And which one would you actually pay for again? Tell me in the comments, because your answers genuinely shape what I make next. And if this saved you even one of these charges, subscribe, because next time, I'm taking you somewhere the cruise lines really don't advertise.